shall be destroyed. Amen. Hallelujah. Liberia, you are lifted. Amen. Anyone who stands in your way shall be destroyed. Again, we'd like to say welcome to the Liberian Dream program, and you're listening to Pastor Lawrence Kennedy. We're broadcasting from Atlanta, Georgia. Again, and we have the beautiful executive mansion in the background. And again, I have as my special guest, I've commenced calling her my co-host, Atlanta, Georgia, Mrs. Wiata Kofa. Wiata, we'd like to say welcome again to the program. Amen. Amen. And today, you know, our nation, like America, we're coming into our primary season, though we still have, 1.5 years into the process, but time goes by so fast. I remembered when our current president, Madam Sirleaf, Her Excellency Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, was elected as president, and we flocked back home with such excitement for her inauguration, and we were so hopeful as a people group. And hope is a good thing, but to know that 12 years have almost come and gone, time really flies. And we're beginning to enter again into our primary season where people are beginning to register the different parties. They're all, many candidates that are out there, many of the names that we know already, and others, I believe, are yet to become a part of the process. But this program is really intended to breathe, to inspire hope into us as a people group. And so as we come today, we dream of our beloved sweet land of liberty, the Republic of the LIB. I don't know about you, Wiata, but I love this land. I love Liberia, just being called a Liberian. And those of us that are on the outside, we're in different countries around the world. Some of us are in these United States. Some are in, different pockets, country on the continent of Europe. Some are in Asia, in Australia. We have some in Central America. We have people everywhere almost, and scattered all over Africa. And so, for me, this spells hope, that we have so much that we've gleaned from different cultures, and so can you imagine coming back to what we call 43,000 square miles? Wow. I believe developing our nation then could be done overnight. And
it's
so I'm a prisoner of hope. And so today, as we talk about our nation again, I want us to just build up Liberians wherever they are. There are those who have written Liberia off, because for them things have not gone like they anticipated or dreamed or hoped. But we're prisoners of hope. We believe that now is our time. Not just they haven't done it, but it's time for us to rise up and make a difference. So I want to just bring you in now, because when we talk about Liberia, there's this feeling of excitement, of anticipation. There is some place called home. Thank God for America. Thank God for Europe. But bless God for Liberia. We praise God, for our nation. We just thank Him for Liberia in a very special way. Amen. Amen. So just tell us about our nation. What you love about that land. Let's just brag on, our sweet land of liberty.
The people of Liberia. It's such a blessing to be a Liberian.
Mm-hmm.
It's, people say, live in blessing, learn in business. They have so many ways they cue it, but I'm just so proud to be called a Liberian, or know within myself that I have a place called home. It may be small in your eye, you may not hardly be able to find it, but it's just a paradise on its own. When you talk about the natural resources and the landscaping of that land, just that place that God has blessed us with. Let's forget about what others may say about the political season, the greed of the people, and stuff like that. But there is just such calm when you get to Liberia. Like somebody told me, he said, when I get back home, I don't worry about time. It's like the people, they're not stressed. Their stress is different though, but I have such peace of mind. When I get home, I relax. You can hear the birds sing. You can, you know, you don't have to pay much as you would pay to get like some oranges and grapefruits and just the fruits.
Because they're everywhere.
They're
Especially
everywhere.
outside of Monrovia,
Yes,
primarily.
and you just
Yeah.
enjoy it. And there's just, the people are just warm-hearted people. That's another thing. And especially outside of Monrovia, that's my best part. You know, I grew up in Bond County, and I like, that's the best part of Liberia. I know somebody else will say, well, you don't see anything here. We were in the city. But I'm like, it's just so peaceful. It's so serene. Liberia is just a beautiful place. If you ever heard about Patawi, the waterfall, and you just have, you see nature at its best. You go to Lake Piso, and those who've been to Cape Palmas and other places, they come back with their form, you know, of how beautiful this nation is. And so I want to say I'm proud to be a Liberian.
You know, I really thank God for that because I've listened to not many, you know, to really be truthful. I've listened to a couple of Liberians that have literally written Liberia off. And, you know, earlier today we were joking in the studio. We said, you know, if you really want Liberia to develop, you know what needs to be done. And I'm loud mouthed enough to say
that
it.
off.
I said, you know what really needs to be done to get our nation developed overnight to really experience quantum leaps? Let every Liberian around the world be deported.
Don't use that word, deported.
Yeah, I mean, just say, no, deported. You know, just say, look, we're tired with you Liberians, go home. Then all of a sudden, we will see the need for a good educational system again. We will see the need for good hospitals again, for good roads, for electricity, for systems and law and order. But I think many times we're so comfortable where we are, and there isn't any vision on the inside or any burden that we carry. Like Nehemiah, for instance. He was well placed. He worked, as it were, in the palace. He was the king's armor bearer. But some brethren had returned from Jerusalem, and he asked them about the exiles, you know, those that made it back. How were they faring? And they said, Nehemiah, our people are going through the grind. Things are really difficult. The gates are burned to the ground. The walls are in ruins.
No hope.
And the people are just in great distress. And as privileged as Nehemiah was, the Bible says that he wept. He got down and he fasted and prayed. And he sought the Lord. And there was this burden that was birthed on the inside of him to rise up and do something. And the king finally saw him when he went back to work and said, now, Nehemiah, this is not you. You know, this must be heaviness of heart. You know, what's wrong? And Nehemiah prayed a prayer under his breath and said to the king what really troubled him. You know, those of us that are doing well in these United States, is there anything about Liberia that troubles you enough that you want to make a difference? Now, I'm not saying is there any problem that you know about, because we regurgitate, we repeat, you know, we like the, you know, we bring it out, we muse on it, we swallow it. I'm not talking about that. But is there something on the inside of you that demands a response? That say, listen, this is my time to make a difference. And Nehemiah asked permission to go back and rebuild. Now, for Nehemiah, it was the rebuilding of the walls. But some of us, it is my prayer, will be challenged and inspired to go back and rebuild, help rebuild our educational system, help rebuild our health care delivery system, help rebuild our economy, help rebuild, those of us who are ministers of the gospel. Just inspire hope, into our people again. Help them to dream again, to believe again. The Bible declares hope deferred makes the heart sick. Meaning people said, we thought they would have made a difference. And for good reasons. The election, the political season is on us again, and people are saying, well, we need people that are trained and educated. And most of the common people say, but hey, the people we've had, not just at the very top, but through our government, the bulk of them have been educated people. What have they done? What have they delivered? And so it's almost like we justify this whole idea, this whole notion that, look, the so-called educated have failed. So what's wrong with trying the uneducated? The untrained, the unskilled. But Liberians, we can do better than that. It's time for us to start holding ourselves accountable. I'm not even talking about, me holding you accountable. I'm talking about personal accountability. You owe it to yourself as a Liberian. You owe it to your nation to rise up, to step up to the plate and make a difference. I'm not talking about being, critical and condemning and pointing finger and finding fault. Because there's enough blame to go all around. We can even say one to another, he who is without sin, let him cast the first stone. I say to Liberians, the difference between the office boy and the chief is that the chief has a little more, to walk away with. But the office boy, even at his level, is equally corrupt. But the time has come that we become genuinely interested in our nation, in the well-being of our nation. Our sons and daughters, our grandbabies, the children of Liberia that have never left, those fathers and mothers that are still without an education and have children, could they depend on us to help educate, to help bring, education that we spread around? And so just tell us something about the dream that's in your heart. Because today we just want to talk inspirationally about Liberia. I know there are problems, but I love that land. Our theme song is Liberia, sweet land of liberty. You will rise up again and take your place among the community of nations. And so we have to just open your heart. I don't know, but I'm genuinely interested in that nation, in our sweet land of liberty. It means then not just the land mass, but the people. We must love one another. We must care one for another. Just talk about us becoming our brother's keeper in a positive way.
It's all about dreaming again. Like you say, we want to be with people that have dreams, people who are still imagining. It's like, that picture you are painting in your mind, that every time you look at it, you keep talking about it till it becomes a reality. And those are the kind of people that we in our generation want to hang out with.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad that even here as we speak, from this program, The Liberian Dream, you may think it's not having an effect. But like when you hear people say, I'm done with this place, I'm about to go home. I'm packing to go home. And I asked another lady, I'm like, you say you're going home? She said, I see hope.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
And she said, I believe if I get there, that's how things will happen. If I've sat here too long talking about it, it's
waiting
not working.
For others to make it happen.
Yes, she said, I've tried making it happen through others. It has not worked. And I believe this is my time. And she only listened to us like one time. And she's like, that also is part of my motivation to go back, because people can say, if I get on the ground. And then I ask her, what is it that you are going to do when you get to Liberia? She said, I got my kids, they are young. If I want to see a neighborhood where my children can play freely, where my children can interact with the right kind of people, I have to make myself the person to help build up those children in my neighborhood. She said, I am carrying a program. I don't know what to do, but I just want to go and be able to cater to kids that I can meet them on Saturdays. I can meet them for after schools as I decide what I want to do. But that's the group I want to reach out to. My heart was so glad. And I'm like, lady, I wish I could fit in your suitcase right now. But I was able to give her so many ideas. This is what you could do with the little that you're going to start off with. And then she began to say, I'm worried about this armed robbery situation. I'm worried about this other people. And I said to her, the group that you are going to pay attention to, that's the group that grows up fast. They are the group that is being used to do the things that you don't want to see. And now you are going in the right direction to reroute them to the right side, one community at a time. I can get tired talking about Reverend Samuel Enders that could leave everything and say, if it must happen, I have to be on the ground. I have to let my friends know. It's about time that we let others know what we are holding ourselves accountable to in Liberia. I'm holding myself accountable to the children of Liberia. Wherever I am, I'm going to make sure that I speak into their lives, work with them, and make sure they become a new generation. That in our old age, we know we can rest in our own country. So today, I'm so hopeful, and I keep dreaming about the dream that we can lift each other, that we can build each other. The armed robbers that you don't want to see, you don't have to see them. If you would take those teenagers and create programs for them, if you would take those little girls and create programs for them, if you will work with them, or you will sponsor those that are on the ground to work with them, if you would just go and see those who say they are working on the ground, scrutinize their programs, and if they are going wrong, say, look, for the betterment of this nation, we cannot hide behind the curtain. If you would do it, do it. So if you are out there, God has blessed you. He has sent you to Australia. He has sent you to Europe, to Asia, even in Alaska. And Liberia is now on your heart. There is a lot that you can do, Pastor. There is a lot. You are doing your share from this studio. I tell you about people who get on my page and say, oh, we heard that man is so encouraged about our country. And I'm like, he's doing his part. So I want to say, we want to team up with those that are doing their part. I want to say thank you for those that are on the ground right now, those that are planning to go. For there's a lot of work, and it's a great work. And together we can make it happen.
Oh, that's powerful. And so those of us who are in the West that are beginning to listen to us, we really want to challenge ourselves. Make it happen. Find a way. It's time to collaborate. It's time for networking. It's time to say to ourselves, if not us,
then who?
Then who? If not now, then when? Now, this is very important. We left Liberia, many of us, some 20, 21 years ago, 22 years ago. When we left, some of us were in our early 30s. Folks are now, when we left, we were young couples that had just gotten married. But most of us are becoming or have already become our new senior citizens. You know, those of us who are in America, as soon as you turn 50, you get your AARP card in the mail, welcoming you into that club, the 5-0 club. But some of us got that almost 8-9 years ago. And so here we are, you know, still waiting. It's time to make it happen. You know, and the advantage is that we are in the West. The world has been reduced to a global village. When you look at technology and travel, you know, you can have breakfast in JFK, lunch in Tokyo, and dinner, someplace else, China, where have you. The world has been reduced. We're citizens of these different nations. We can go back and forth. There's a whole lot we can do. But I believe it starts with a vision being birthed on the inside of us. What have we been wired to do? What are our capabilities? What's the longing, the vision, the dream that's on the inside of you? I believe that if we purpose in our hearts, if we become vision driven, I know that we're caring, want to fend for our families and everything, but the world is really bigger than our families. We've been blessed to be a blessing. It's time to give back to Liberia. Liberia has all that it takes. Everyone still talks about manpower dream. Have you ever thought that our manpower dream has become manpower development? You had a father and mother that fled, but they fled with 6 children. And so you call that a dream because 2 educated people left. But those 6 children, they're now architects, lawyers, doctors, what have you. So that's manpower development. And for most of us that have written, well, that really doesn't include me because I love, for me, Liberia is in green, right? But for those of us that have the whole notion of writing the nation off, your children will discover Liberia, not because of you. They've heard all the negatives you've said. They've heard how you've trashed your nation, how corrupt, and all these things may be true. But life and death is in the power of the tongue. And every time you spoke of Liberia, you spoke only of the ills, only of that which is ugly. But I want to say, I speak life over Liberia. I speak the rising up of young Liberians that are well educated, that are willing to go back and make the sacrifice, that are willing to go back. Some of them are in their early 20s, but there's just something on the inside of them that says, the discipline I have, the training I have, time is on my side. I'm youthful. I can be adventurous. I don't have this big family and a whole lot of babies. I'm going back. I'm going to make a difference. You may have written the nation off, but then we'll take your sons and daughters. They have not written it off. You may attempt to warn them to write it off, but they will not. Like the Israelites, because of their unbelief, they perished in the wilderness. It was their sons and daughters that went in and possessed the land. And so if you've written Liberia off, listen to me. I speak prophetically. Your sons and daughters will rise up and will develop the land. They will possess the land. They will go back and join their fellow countrymen that are there. And together we will develop our sweet land of liberty. And guess what? To those that write the nation off, it's amazing how we still carry your bodies back to bury you. Is that all you're going to give to Liberia, a dead body? Let's do better than that. The soil is rich. Let's do better than that. As we come back, we want to continue, just inspiring ourselves. The program today is on the light side. It's to just inspire hope. We're having a brief break. After that, we'll come back and just continue. Amen.
will prosper in Africa. Hear the word. Liberia, sweet land of liberty, we prophesy to you, you will rise, you will shine, you will prosper in Africa. Hear the word. Liberia, sweet land of liberty, we prophesy to you, you will rise, you will shine, you will prosper in Africa. Hear the word. Liberia, sweet land of liberty, we prophesy to you, you will rise, you will shine, you will prosper in Africa. Hear the word. You are lifted, amen, hallelujah. Liberia, you are lifted, amen, hallelujah. We prophesy to you, you are lifted, amen, hallelujah, amen. You are lifted, amen, hallelujah. Kingdom shall come to your life, amen, hallelujah. Nations shall come to your life, amen, hallelujah. Liberia, you are lifted, amen, hallelujah. We prophesy to you, you are lifted, amen, hallelujah. We prophesy prosperity in the government, amen, hallelujah. We prophesy righteousness in the government, amen, hallelujah. We prophesy holiness in the government, amen, hallelujah. Oh, you are lifted, amen, hallelujah. Liberia, you are lifted, amen, hallelujah, amen. Liberia, sweet land of liberty, we prophesy to you, you will rise, you will shine, you will prosper in Africa. Hear the word. Liberia, sweet land of liberty, we prophesy to you, you will rise, you will shine, you will prosper in Africa. Hear the word. Hallelujah. Come on, Liberia. Rise up from your slumber and enlarge your course, for the day of your lifting has come. For favor shall embrace you from every angle, and your enemies shall see your lifting. They shall see your rising and bow. Hallelujah. Come on, join me. Let's celebrate Jesus. You are lifted, amen, hallelujah. Liberia, you are lifted, amen, hallelujah. We prophesy to you, you are lifted, amen, hallelujah. No enemy shall rise up against you, Liberia, amen, hallelujah. No enemy shall come against you, Liberia, amen, oh, you are lifted, amen, hallelujah. Liberia, you are lifted, amen, hallelujah. Kingdom shall come to your life, amen, hallelujah.
I'd like to say welcome back to the Liberian Dream. I'm Pastor Lawrence Kennedy. I pastor Bethel, Atlanta, and I have as my co-host Wiata Kofe. Wiata, we've been talking on the light side today, and what I want us to deal with the next 10, 15 minutes before we come to a close, I believe we need to become genuinely interested in each other as Liberians, meaning our success, our progress, individually and corporately. Meaning, if I were to see a Liberian succeeding and succeeding big, instead of being, envious or jealous and and not wanting them to, because I think they're above me, and so I do everything now to poke at them, shoot at them. I believe that we need to come to the place where we encourage, we build up, we compliment, we inspire. We say to people, in their hearing that I'm proud of you. Thanks for what you're doing. You're impacting, you're making a difference. If there's any way I can help, I'd be willing to do so. I think that this is so needful. Just those words coming from fellow Liberians to another Liberian who's on the ground, making a difference, impacting lives, by being able to say to them, man, this is awesome. We appreciate what you're doing. I want to be a blessing. Be encouraged. Don't quit. You're doing a great work. So just talk in that direction, because there's some things that, you're here, but you're still a part of a great work over there. And so just tell us some of the latest things, because I heard of the children's clinic that's intended to become a hospital someday just for children. So just go into that direction. And so let's brag on, our dear brother back home.
I will talk from what I know, but there's a lot happening back home. I'll be honest with you. There is a lot happening. And I was just sharing with you, talking about people and what they have started and being an encouragement to them. You may not have a part in that work, but there is just something about telling someone, hey, you are doing a good job. God has blessed you and you are being a blessing. I'm excited about what you are doing. It actually gives people a leap of faith.
It encourages them.
Yeah,
definitely.
it makes them, it's like, I can do this. And I was just telling you about African Dream Academy. We started with a school, and having kids coming. We had a school nurse, and the kids get sick all of the time. You have 15, 20 kids in the clinic, then in class. And we need a hospital. We need a place that these kids can go and get checked on a monthly or quarterly basis, that school will become better off. And guess what? That was just in our mouths. We began to imagine it. And Samuel Enders is just a dreamer. He's
Amen.
so wild in his imagination. This became a reality. Over the years, this gone week, that clinic was open. And it's just a children's clinic that is going into a children's hospital. And our target is students between the age of 0, because we are going to the cradle. While you are in your mother's womb, we are targeting those teenage mothers. We call them girl mothers. We're taking them off the street, and that child, you're not going to abort it. If you need services, we're going to make sure at the clinic, because we are interested in that child, in you. Catering to them. So the clinic caters for free 0 to 6 years old children. You take them there, they are treated for free. But if you are a student in school between that age to high school, all you
Is
need
it just students from your school? Or?
No, just students in particular. You must be a student, have an ID card. You're still in high school. You go to the clinic, you got attention, because it's for you. Our whole idea is to keep you healthy, so you keep learning. That is one man's idea.
And brothers and sisters, this is what you call vision. You're talking about someone, a Liberian that doesn't have a lot of money,
No.
but just passionate about wanting to make a difference. Now they've opened a children's clinic with the intention of it becoming a children's hospital. We could talk about all these kinds. In fact, maybe what we do for the program on a Wednesday is just collect a whole lot of these success,
For
stories.
people and, talk about
Because every
them.
time when we talk about Liberia, we talk about the corruption in government, how they're raking, tens of thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands, and even millions of dollars. But there are a whole lot of success, stories being carried out, lived out on a daily basis by ordinary Liberians.
I'm going to cut you off. Like I told you about this lady I met here, Councillor Williams. And I have been following this other school because I'm always on the web trying to see what's going on back home. And I get to this cyber school. I'm like, oh, this is something good that I really want to see. Who's doing this? It is in Monrovia. And I got so excited. But you see how God arranged things. And I come in talking about, I'm a teacher and I'm excited about what goes on in Liberia. And she's like, oh, I was there. And I was telling about these schools that I've worked with, but I found this new school. And guess what? The lady is the owner of the school. And she made one statement. She said, I took my kids back home, and what I wanted to see for my kids, I didn't find it, so I created it.
Also, I was correct. If you deported all the Liberians, Liberia would have.
And she said,
We
so
will create all those
created it
things.
because
Wow.
that's what I wanted to see. You know, I'm like, wow, amazed. But you are like one of, you are in my imagination, and I can't tell you how long I've been following you. And it's an opportunity to meet you. But just think about that. Think about that. Another incident, I worked for the American International School for some time. There were just some parents who couldn't get children into that school. And a group got together, Lebanese, and other people, and like, look, if we can't get our children into that school, we're going to create that same school.
Create one, yeah.
And so we have people like Debbie Scott Carrenda. SPS has been around for a long time. Well, I can't stand to see my kids in class of 40 children to one teacher. Okay, we're going to create another program that can have like 15 kids. You have 2 teachers. It is a tough thing. It is not in central Monrovia. It's in the outskirts of Monrovia. There's another lady. I could just give names. They have this school called Jawulu Cooperative Learning Center. And it's a Christian family. They're from Bethel, the Martins, Ruby Martin and Arabulu Martin. And it's like we have moved out of the city to the outskirts. There are people who live, but they have to drive their kids. You have to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to take your child to Central Monrovia because you want them in a Christian school. We're going to create one. And they started right in their own home. Today, they are out of place.
And that's how you build great things.
One community
at a time.
At a time.
Yeah.
And now I'm envisioning that person that would say, well, we need some playgrounds in this nation. We're going to take playground equipment. There is land that we can talk to our community leaders. You are selling all this land. Just give this community an acre or 2. We're going to just put playground equipment. We're going to put community centers that our people will learn the civilized life, the unity there is, and enjoy nature. Can you imagine if people are thinking, if people you out there, you got the funds, we want to create this. This is the Liberia we want to see. And we know there are people right now who are willing to make it happen.
And it's really in our reach.
Yes.
And like I said, for nice week, we have just 5 minutes left. We want to collect a lot of success
We
stories
can do that.
and just highlight, just feature our different brothers and sisters that
And
are
I
making.
learned we got a Facebook page. We may not be able to get to you to get your story, but you have your story.
Yeah,
You could just send us pics on the Liberian Dream Facebook page.
yeah.
I was excited to know that page been there and I can tap into it. I heard about Caleb Doma. He has a group, engaging Liberian children through education. If you just come on the Liberian Dream and say, this is what I'm doing, you can check me out. We want to celebrate you. We want to give others hope. If he can do it, you can do it. We look forward to seeing that. That'd be exciting.
Oh, I mean, I'm excited already for this program. We started, and I don't know where God is taking it, but I believe that it's going to be a blessing to our nation, not just the 43,000 square miles, but our citizenry, our people that are scattered throughout the diaspora. I believe not long from now, this program will be a source of inspiration, a source of great, information. One that challenges us, to think, to dream, to build. Because we've come to the place where each of us, like I keep saying, has got something to offer. I dare you believe that you do have something to offer. And let's not minimize, let's not trivialize what others are doing. No matter how little, like Jesus said when they criticized the woman that anointed him, he said, leave her alone. She has done a great thing, a beautiful thing. She has done what she could. Fellow Liberians, let's do what we can. You may not be able to do everything, but what can you do? What's in your hand? What's in your heart? You know, while we have the opportunity, let's become all we can become. Our nation has got hope. Man, our nation. I don't know about you, but when it comes to Liberia, I will say it 1,000 times. I'm a prisoner of hope. I believe the best is yet to come. In fact, it's imminent. It's here. This is our finest moment. Here we are sitting in a studio in Atlanta, Georgia, broadcasting with the executive mansion behind us.
Right.
You know, I mean, it's like we're on the ABC, CNN News, you know. It's like we're giving you the latest, man. This is technology. Liberians, it's time to rise up. You know, I will ask our producer to put on our theme song, because even while our pictures are out there, I want you to listen to the words of this song the next 2 minutes, because it is so powerful. This is our time. I believe in you. I celebrate you. I bless you. I bless your household. I bless your sons and your daughters. I pray that God establishes your home, your family, that you increase, that you multiply. And I just encourage us to be our brother's keeper, to love one another. So let's listen to this song the next 1 minute or 2 minutes as we go out. I just be quiet now as it plays. Listen to it.
Prophesy to you, you will rise, you will shine, you will prosper in Africa. Jesus. You are lifted. Amen. Hallelujah. Liberia, you are lifted. Amen. We prophesy to you. You are lifted. Amen. Hallelujah. No enemy shall rise up against you, Liberia. Amen. Hallelujah. No enemy shall come against you, Liberia. Amen. Oh, you are lifted. Amen. Hallelujah. Liberia, you are lifted. Amen. Hallelujah. Kingdom shall come to your life. Amen. Hallelujah. Nation shall bow to your rising. Amen. Oh, Liberia, you are lifted. Amen. Hallelujah. Oh, you are lifted. Amen. Hallelujah. Liberia, you are lifted. Amen. Hallelujah. Liberia, you are lifted. Amen. Hallelujah. The day of your rising has come. Amen. Hallelujah. The day of your favor has come. Amen. Oh, the set time to favor you has come. Amen. Liberia, Liberia, you are lifted. Amen. Hallelujah. Liberia, you are lifted. Amen. Hallelujah. Liberia, you are lifted. Amen. Hallelujah. Enlarging your goal. Amen. Hallelujah. Oh, enlarging your tent. Amen. Hallelujah. Nations shall run to your rising. Amen. Hallelujah. Kingdom shall come to your lifting. Amen. Hallelujah. Oh, Liberia, you are lifted. Amen. Hallelujah. Every enemy against you shall be destroyed. Amen. Hallelujah. Liberia, you are lifted. Amen. Anyone who stands in your way
Oh,
shall
yes.
be destroyed.
Amen. Amen. God bless you. The Lord bless you, Mother Liberia, and keep you. Liberians everywhere, God bless you and establish you. God cause his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you.
Amen.